Yo, what's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross video. For this one, we're going to do a video regarding what's happening currently with the new Netmarble changes in terms of service and what they could possibly mean going forward. And I'm going to explain these to the best of my ability, and of course, what could, where the heart of these statements could be versus what is actually possible and what we're going to be hopefully doing about it as a community. So, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright guys, so it's about 3 o'clock in the morning for me right now, and I just can't go to sleep because this is keeping me up, and I'm hoping this gets resolved. But we're going to talk about it a little bit. So first off, Netmarble just introduced a clean campaign around midnight. And this clean campaign, I like the heart of it. The full idea of what the clean campaign is a really good idea, and I support it. But some of the wording is a little bit vague and a little bit hard to understand, or just not good. And some of the things in here, some people are going to find very negative and not be happy with, but what are you going to do? So moving forward, greetings, this is Netmarble 7 since Grand Cross CM Gold. We are starting a new initiative, the Clean Campaign, to foster and promote more comfortable and fair environment for 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Please read for more details. The use and sharing of illegal programs is ground for a ban. So the idea behind this, in my opinion, is essentially this is to stop players from cheating or using software to cheat in order to stop all that crap. We check for the use of illegal programs and other actions that violate our terms of service on a daily basis. Players that are found to be using said illegal programs or actions, i.e., or example, interfere with the normal game mechanics or cause issues for other players, are banned in accordance to our policy. So there are two sets of players being affected by this. The first set of players are players that are using either cheats, drop hacks, lag hacks, whatever it may be, in order to get an unfair advantage in PvP, and of course win matches in PvP, and that's, not fair, not cool, not good for the game. Second thing is gatekeepers. If you don't know what a gatekeeper is, essentially that is where you de-rank yourself down to gold in PvP or teal or whatever it may be in elite PvP, and you fight down in the lower ranks of PvP because you're continuously going to be fighting against players who are less geared than you and less far into the game. And this prevents them from progressing, but also provides you with a large amount of resources because you can farm with coin food continuously and through to infinity, basically. I'm not sure if I agree with that practice or that idea, because I can get just as many coins by doing that in elite PvP at the top ranks versus doing it at the bottom ranks. So I'm not really sure why players do that, but there must be some kind of reason. I don't know what it is, but people are doing it and they think it's valuable, so whatever. I don't personally think it's a good idea, but some people do think it's a good idea, so whatever. But they're banning for that, essentially. Bans are restricted to one access in the game. Please refrain from using any or sharing any illegal programs. So don't hack, don't cheat, don't download, don't share any kind of cheats. Not cool. For more information, please refer to our terms of services under Section 5 in the user conduct for K and N. And this is where it gets kind of ambiguous, and we're going to go over all the sections K and N later. The next part is for data mining, and this is kind of like a big kind of punch to the face to a lot of the people in the community, but is kind of needed because there has been a lot of misinformation going around regarding using data mines inappropriately and giving misinformation. And I'm not going to name names, of course, because that would be inappropriate, because everyone has an opinion regarding some information, how it's interpreted, and of course, people have different takes. The actions and appropriate the appropriate actions will be taken in response to game leaks, data mining, and the sharing of false information. Now, this is regarding some people that were giving information to other people in regards to what could happen, and other people taking that as gospel and not using critical thinking to realize that it could not be the case, or someone saying that it will be the case, and that would be spreading false information. The acquisition of leaking game information through irregular means such as is viewed as a form of hacking, which violates our terms of service. So data mining is basically dead because they're forming as hacking. Okay. Therefore, we will take the appropriate actions against such violations. In addition, we have recently noticed that some users have misled others about future update and content with incorrect data or information. there have been some YouTube posts, there have some Reddit posts, etc., where people have, thought that these things were happening, and obviously they were not the case, and then players were either disappointed or negative because of that. And this had, of course, led to people giving 1-star ratings to Netmarble's game, and that was a super not cool thing to do, which then, of course, prompted this reaction from Netmarble. So if you did give Netmarble a 1-star rating for 7 Innocents Grand Cross because Escanor didn't come out, this might be on you. So just letting you know that you may have been a proponent in this situation to make this happen. In addition, we have recently noticed that some okay, I read that. Please keep in mind that spreading unofficial, false information only causes confusion and disappointment for others, which is very true. This is exactly what happened. Please refer to official channels for the correct information, and please feel free to share any news or info from official source on the official forums or social media platforms. Very true as well. Okay, again, game leaks and data mining is a violation of our terms of service, and appropriate actions will be taken. For more information, please refer to our terms of service in section H. Okay, we'll go over this in a sec. All right, the last part, this is the part where it gets kind of hinky. And this is where there's a lot of confusion, and I will go over that confusion in due process. So please join us on our clean campaign to help everyone enjoy healthier gameplay and experience more harmonious community. We are currently reinforcing our monitoring system and methods in regards to illegal programs and leaks. Don't data mine. If you have any questions regarding the above information, please feel free to send an inquiry to our customer support team. We will do all we can to provide a better experience. Well, I mean, if you already have it on your, you already have the information pulled from someone else, it's already out there. But don't keep doing it. Essentially, I think that's the heart of what they're saying. User conduct and content. These are actually updates to their terms of service. I don't know if they actually did update these or these are just actually already in their TOS, because I don't have the TOS from a few months ago. You agree that you will not attempt to decompile, reverse engineer, disassemble, or hack any of our services, or defeat or overcome any of our encryption technologies or security measures or data transmitted, processed, or stored by us. Okay, so don't cheat. Don't circumvent their security measures. Don't do stuff you shouldn't be doing anyways. K. Disrupt the normal flow of a service, and otherwise act in a manner that is negatively to affect players to ability to compete fairly when playing our services or exchanging in real-time exchanges. Essentially, this is to prevent people from gatekeeping in PvP, like we discussed earlier. This is in their TOS, and please don't do this. It was in their TOS actually prior to me talking about this actually. So this was in their TS for the last couple weeks, at least. And this is the one that this is the last one. This is where I get heavy. I'm gonna read without the parentheses first, so you can kind of hear it first. Use our services to cheat, design, or assist in cheating. I'm gonna skip the parentheses, or to otherwise circumvent technological measures designed to control access or elements of our service, or do anything else that is a reasonable person is likely to believe is not within the spirit of fair play of these terms. Again, I read that without the parentheses because if I read it without the parentheses, you can kind of understand where the heart of the sentiment is. But when I read it with the parentheses, it gets very confusing. So I'm going to say it again without the parentheses. Use our services to cheat or design or assist in cheating, or to otherwise circumvent technological measures designed to control access to or elements of our services, or do anything else that a reasonable person is to likely believe that is not within the spirit of fair play or these terms. Now the parentheses, however, for example, by using automated means or third-party software to play. So when you read the parentheses, he goes, what? Third-party software or services to play. Wait, does that mean you're banning emulators? And then you read automated means. Wait, does that mean macros are gone too? Wait, does that mean... And you get crazy, okay? So this gets very confusing very quickly when you read it with the parentheses. Without the parentheses, basically it's just don't cheat, don't try to cheat, don't download cheats, don't distribute heats. I get it, don't cheat, I get it. But then when you add in the parentheses, it gets very confusing very quickly. And you're like, okay, what do you mean? Because they're giving examples, and they're giving a specific example. And I think what they were trying to say is don't download a third-party program that is going to allow you to bot in like PvP and do a very like if-then statement kind of PvP against other players. Don't use any kind, like that would be an assisted kind of thing that you're downloading in order to automate PvP and make it very easy. That's botting. It's very different than macros. So macros, to clarify, are where you take an action that you've already performed and then just repeat the action over and over and over again infinitely. And the question is, because a lot of people don't want a +1, you know what I mean, and they're using a macro to +1 because I don't think anyone wants to +1 200 times, 3 different times to 10 different times a week. That's terrible. It takes so long, but I'm pretty sure +1ing in that situation is like the best of both worlds. But here's the question: is that against the terms of service? And the reason that's so confusing is because of what they posted here. Of course, in response to this, I created a post on their forum, and I was like, yo, Netmarble, what the fuck? I don't understand, please help. And then I said, the latest iteration of the terms of service are somewhat ambiguous. Please help, I don't understand. The use of our terms of service, I basically go over, I re-copy paste what they said in section N. and said, this section in particular is somewhat troublesome as it creates some kind of concern of what is actually allowed. Bro, we confused. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Our emulators are third-party software like BlueStacks allowed by the terms of service, and then our linear macros that can be used by these emulators and phones allowed under TOS. If you're not aware, you can actually use macros on actual Android phones, and that is something that you can physically do. It will just repeat the action on your phone. And there are macros on emulators that will just repeat actions for just screen tapping. It doesn't really provide any unfair advantage against other players because all you're doing is literally just face rolling the keyboard, but the keyboard's face rolling itself, so it doesn't really do anything. And a lot of other games allow for macros to just keep going, and there's no problems with it. The main issue is that it would give you an unfair advantage against other players, and seeing how it's very easily accessed by all players, you can't really say that it wouldn't be. And the only people that could possibly not have access to it are Apple users. Personally, I got an iPhone. I can do this. I don't see why other people couldn't do it. As BlueStacks emulator has a heavily marketed and is seemingly being partnered with Netmarble, is using the software or device bannable under these new terms. Basically, yo, are we gonna get banned if we're using BlueStacks? Because you're telling us it's cool to use, but then you're not telling us not to use part of the software you're telling us to use. So that's why it's confusing, and that's why it's like, bro, what do you mean? My current thought is that the heart of the statement is to stop players from using an unfair advantage in PvP and Guild Boss in order to obtain, to get like very unfair scores. However, many players use macros to ease quality of life rather than to gain an advantage, and your clarification here is going to be very appreciated. Basically, Netmarble, we just want to know if we can use your fucking macros to +1. Because we do not want to +1 200 fucking times. If you had an ability to just let us instant +1 everything, we good. No one cares. We never use macros again. Nobody cares. We fine. Just add that into the game and we're fine. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta do. No one gives a fuck about macros. We ain't ever using macros again. I don't give a fuck. You can ban the shit out of that. Just make it so we can +1 instant. No one cares. That's what I've done for this. I'm going to have links for these things, of course, in the description below. So if you want to respond to these via the Netmarble forum or you want to do it on the Reddit post, please do your comments there. And of course, if you want to share this with other people, this would be very helpful in getting the information quicker to Netmarble, because we just have to make sure that it actually is seen by the community managers and they actually are able to respond to it. Alright guys, well my name's Sekapoko, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, I just wanted to put this out here because I know a lot of people are using macros to +1. I'm not saying, I'm not doing it. But I am saying that it is very, very annoying to do. And it is very, very much something that we don't want to continue to do. But we don't want to break the game and we don't want to hurt Netmarble in any way. We want to make sure that this is a fun experience for all players, and this is something that we just don't want to do, but you're making us do it. So we want to make sure that it's easier for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just make it a little easier, and we'll be fine. Nobody cares. All right, guys. But thank you so much for watching. If you want to do, of course, like and subscribe, all the fun stuff. You guys have a great rest of your day.